Thank you all for being here today. City officials, staff, citizens of Scranton, and Ryan, Mom, and Sloan watching remotely. Thank you for joining me to discuss the city we all love, what we have accomplished together, and our shared future. Barely over a year ago, joined by colleagues, friends, and family, right here, I promised to restore the trust of the people and govern on their behalf, that a better city was possible, and that I would work tirelessly to deliver for them. Scranton is built on hard work and resilience. It's a city where we are proud of how hard we work and the values that flow from that work. Earlier this year, we were blessed to have one of our own inaugurated as President of the United States, powered and brought here by those core values that serve not just as our moral compass, but that will heal our nation and guide our recovery. We remember too well when some of our local leaders did not work as hard as we do, when elected officials undermined our trust, the dignity of our hard work, and our city's reputation. Our city didn't get headlines for what we did well, but made news because of illegal schemes. We knew we were facing a crisis that was deep with systemic corruption. That crisis was joined shortly by two more crises, a once-in-a-lifetime pandemic and the ensuing economic recession. And then yet another, a national awakening to racial inequity that we must continue to address. This multitude of crises showed the need for a government that does better for the people and leads based on their needs, no matter whom they are related to or whom they went to school with. My commitment that I made here last year remains the same today, that I will work as hard as our people do, make our government do more, and serve the needs of our community. I'm working to make us proud again, to fix what was broken, to keep on what worked well, and to always try and make our government worthy of our heritage and the future we deserve. We have many allies in what our movement is fighting for. A council ready to get rid of corruption, residents excited to volunteer and lend their thoughts and talents, and city employees and first responders that have faced tremendous challenges and still serve the people through unprecedented crisis. Through it all, we've worked with our local government peers, the Commonwealth, and the federal government to figure out how to do things better. We've worked with partners across the city and the region to pump out information and resources, and we have delivered. I want to take a moment to acknowledge all the personal loss we've experienced over the past year. We've lost loved ones and friends and have been unable to grieve in our traditional customs. Many of us have suffered financial setbacks with our jobs and our businesses. Our normal way of life has been taken from us. But we came together as a community from the beginning, showcasing the strength of Scranton and Northeastern Pennsylvania. Our trial began with the decision to cancel our beloved St. Patrick's Day Parade, a hallmark of Scranton's culture and a cornerstone of our economy. As we stood in the governor's room with the parade committee, city council, the Chamber of Commerce, Scranton Tomorrow, and doctors from Geisinger, Moses Taylor, Regional Hospital, and the Medical College to announce the cancellation, I felt the fear of what was ahead, but also the comfort of knowing we were facing it together. Together in a way that's genuine, in a way that we have seen carry us through this crisis. I sincerely believe that that day we set the tone here in Scranton for a partnership that will carry us through any crisis we face down the road. With our resilience and our determination, we are starting to see a light at the end of the tunnel of COVID. The numbers of infections are finally trending downward, and vaccines are on the way. I thank you all for your part in this, especially those on the front lines. When many levels of government failed us over the past year, we did our best to step it up as a city. We advocated fiercely for funding from other entities, arguably sometimes quite fiercely. We passed out PPE, cut red tape, we streamlined permitting for Scranton businesses, we gave up more than $1 million in grants to Scranton businesses. We raised $180,000 for food for our neighbors in collaboration with the Scranton Area Foundation. We collaborated with nonprofit organizations like the Keystone Mission to turn the city's Weston Fieldhouse into a 24/7 stay-in-place shelter for people experiencing homelessness. We worked to listen, leading a recovery task that gets together to this day, working with other leaders in our region to do more for people. We're setting up a vaccine distribution here in Scranton so that we will get shots in arms and get back to work, school, and life as quickly as possible. As the sun shines today and we feel the temperature warm up, I know we are all hopeful we can be together in person sooner rather than later, and that's because of all the hard work we put in as a community. In the past year, we've changed the way government in Scranton works and restored faith of the people. We've made great progress in changing a system long run by the same political players with antiquated infrastructure and technology and operations, a system formerly operating in the shadow of potential corruption. We've tried to make government listen. We've held nearly 60 town halls, over 1,700 meetings. We keep our team here at City Hall accountable and open, and we've had virtual town halls twice a week during the COVID pandemic and every week since. We've implemented a 311 line that people can email, and we've had, I believe, over 2,500 emails to us. We're responding to issues in real time. We've brought City Hall to the people, quite literally, with pop-up City Halls over the past year, and created social media accounts. My team and I regularly attend City Council caucuses and meetings to listen and thoughtfully try to do more. And we've completely overhauled our website to make information about city operations and data more accessible. This improved transparency ensures that we're bringing fairness back to our residents and businesses. It also helps us market our city to folks in other places who may be looking for change. We've literally crawled into every city vehicle to get the VIN numbers and make sure it matched our insurance records. We held an auction to sell vehicles that were sitting at DPW for over a decade. We trudged up West Mountain to look at sources of flooding issues. We started plowing streets based on emergency services and prioritization on that instead of who calls first. The ethics reform we've implemented means that under our leadership, the city can't go back to its old practices. We have a whistleblower hotline where employees can call if they see something. We're hiring for positions in a way that is different. We have the best staff to serve our community, and it's crucial that we continue to find the most qualified candidates instead of the most connected. Jobs are posted publicly, and we consider candidates that have the experience and credentials for each position. We've eliminated cash payments and established that whistleblower hotline so that people can report concerns. We've implemented new oversight controls governing the way taxpayer dollars are spent. We've brought city operations out of the shadow and into the light of transparency. From day one, we've driven home the message that each dollar is a taxpayer dollar, that a city budget is not a blank check. Our city employees have responded to that call. Residents have also responded by paying their fair share. And for those who are not paying their fair share, we're implementing more aggressive processes to change that. We ended 2020 with a budget surplus, and we will keep managing the budget responsibly this year and going forward. As the pandemic raged last spring, we braced the city for economic impact. We planned for the worst, making the tough but necessary decision to furlough employees, tightening expenditures across city departments, and working with our financial advisor to craft contingency plans. As we faced uncertain revenues and as our furloughed employees and their families sacrificed, I chose to lead by example, donating back 5% of my salary to the city beginning in June. Our economic makeup proved to be more resilient to the COVID economy than that of other cities, and we didn't see the catastrophic losses as some of our peers did. But we accelerated cuts to bloated budget items and instilled fiscal discipline across the city. We took this as an opportunity to implement systemic financial responsibility within each department. We know that we have to keep our financial foundation steady, and we cannot overburden our taxpayers any more than they already are. We did not increase taxes heading into this year, and we are doing all we can to reduce the local tax burden over time. Our tax policy working group is exploring taxation methods and financial strategies to support a more appealing city for residents and businesses. I'll continue my efforts to find a sustainable way to eliminate the business tax altogether, not simply swap one for another, as well as to reduce our onerous wage tax over time. Together in this group, we are working to propose how we pave the way for economic growth while protecting residents, especially those living on fixed incomes. Given the headwinds of 2020, we successfully advocated for an extension of our Act 47 status through the end of the year. We appreciate the assistance of the Pennsylvania Economy League and the Department of Community and Economic Development at the state as we work toward exiting at the end of this year. Exiting Act 47, however, is not a declaration of victory. We have a great deal of work ahead of us to get the city onto a path of long-term financial stability. However, exiting Act 47 will be a significant step in the right direction, and it shows that we're putting processes in place to manage the organization and its finances properly. Scranton is not alone in facing substantial long-term financial obligations. Municipalities and even states across the nation have pension, healthcare, and aging infrastructure bills coming due that we can't afford. To help us navigate these challenges, we are working with experts, peer cities, economic agencies, and groups like the Pennsylvania Municipal League and the U.S. Conference of Mayors. As we face continued uncertainty, we remain prepared to withstand the impacts of this pandemic. This year, we have reason to hope for better with the possibility of direct federal stimulus for municipalities and with light at the end of the tunnel for resuming more normal business operations. But just as in 2020, we cannot rely on outside factors. We have to do the hard work ourselves. Soon we will have dispersed over $1 million in grant funds to small businesses. We are still partnering with Lackawanna College and Scranton tomorrow to rally for restaurants. We're working with the Chamber of Commerce to promote our great city, and we're supplying We're still supplying COVID packets to businesses and organizations. We're in close touch with the Biden administration to share what Scranton needs and how we can help them craft policies and programs that will deliver immediate results for families, businesses, and to help our economic trajectory. Again, we're not alone as we face these challenges. We are in the rooms where ideas for overcoming financial hurdles are discussed. We're in the room advocating for cities like Scranton, and we will be on the forefront of trying to find solutions that help cities like ours. None of what we do here in the city of Scranton is possible without the public safety professionals in our city. And I see the fire chief and the police chief right here, and I appreciate you. Our police officers and firefighters are out every day and night interacting with people, whether they have masks on or not. Our public works employees have been picking up garbage, and we're picking up garbage even when we didn't know if COVID could be transmitted through an object or a bottle. When we talk about public safety, we're talking about the most important role of city government. We're fortunate to have the dedicated teams we have, and that has never been clearer than it has been in this crisis. We are incredibly fortunate to live in the city where the response to emergencies is immediate. I'm grateful for that as mayor and as a taxpayer, but especially as a mother to a little girl. In this administration, we've focused relentlessly on improving quality of life in every corner of our city. We've repainted crosswalks, replaced old street signs, filled potholes. I think we have 5 teams out repairing potholes this week, demolished blighted properties, and made our parks better. We've worked to help families buy their first homes and small businesses to stay afloat. We launched the Scranton Together neighborhood initiative to bring city services into all of our neighborhoods through outreach and cleanup events. We established a mayor's volunteer corps to help maintain parks, monitor blight, conduct neighborhood cleanups, and participate in neighbor-to-neighbor assistance efforts. We realize how vital safe and vibrant neighborhoods are to the fabric of our community. We've worked to empower community groups and partnered with them to support projects such as the revitalization of Pine Brook with United Neighborhood Centers and supporting the efforts of NeighborWorks in West Scranton. We're looking at how our downtown and neighborhoods connect, working toward murals and street art and gateways that will boost pride not just in Scranton, but in each neighborhood, and each neighborhood within a neighborhood. We know that a train to New York is not a pipe dream, but a real possibility, and we're advocating that in real time. We're thinking big about the city and what it can be. We're looking at examples from across the nation of how smaller cities like ours have fostered their arts communities, encouraged entrepreneurs, and helped them build up, taken forgotten properties and made them multi-use attractions, and enhanced transportation so that people can work and play more easily. We're focused on everyone now, every pocket of the community. We reach out, we offer resources. We now raise the Pan-African flag every February to celebrate Black history. We fly the Pride flag. We fly the United Nations flag and the women's suffrage flag. We fly the Irish flag and the Italian flag. We aren't afraid of embracing the many cultures, colors, languages, and lifestyles that make Scranton come to life. We want everyone to feel welcome in Scranton. We have families that have lived here for generations that still don't think they could ever work at City Hall, or get a general contractor permit, or get their stop sign fixed, or get a meeting with the mayor. We're changing that. We're listening to everyone. We've also worked to make our government more fair. We've implemented systemic change to promote accountability and justice. We've changed our revenue collection processes to go after those who don't contribute their fair share. And we're prosecuting bad landlords and those who skirt the rules. We've worked to attract new businesses and families in a time when work from home is more widely used. We've done all of this while being good fiscal stewards for the people and their taxpayer money. We finished 2020 with that budget surplus despite the compounding crises that faced our city and devastated other municipalities. Planning a state of the city address helps you look back, look at the moment you're in, and begs the question, where are we going? We're sailing on seas that are in our favor right now. Our real estate market is hot. Our brand as a city is improving exponentially. Our native son is sitting in the Oval Office. Our voice matters. But for all the real progress, we still stand beyond But for all the progress, we still stand just beyond the crossroads. We have a tremendous amount of work to do to fill every storefront with a thriving business, to build those gateways for each of our neighborhoods, to attract the marketplaces, the breweries, the art spaces that become gathering places for families and friends. We need to expand the use of our riverfront and make sure that our neighborhood's parks and recreation programs are open for all. We have an obligation to provide superior education for all of our children, and I'm grateful for the communication and partnership we have with the Scranton School District. We're also partnering closely on workforce development, in close touch with the University of Scranton, Lackawanna College, Johnson College, Penn State, and the Geisinger Medical College, as well as the Institute for Public Policy. Our future is only as strong as the plans we put in place now and the young minds that we shape. Every kid in Scranton is from the same place as the President of the United States. That's a high bar, and it's on us to give every kid here the ability to achieve their dreams. 2020 was a year with many unexpected challenges, but here in Scranton, we always rise to that challenge. We are resilient. The hard times give us a chance to show how hard we work. In my first year, I'm proud of how we came together and focused on how to weather the storm together. We came into office prepared, and now we're battle-tested and truly prepared for anything that comes at us. Together, over the past year, we've done big things. We've made our already great city even greater. I look forward to continuing to work together to make Scranton government work better, to make the city better, to make it more welcoming, and to make it a place where many people want to live and work and raise a family. The state of our city is strong because it's led by the values of our people and an unwillingness to compromise those values. Every day I try to be a mayor worthy of the job you trusted me with. I try to live up to your work ethic, your decency, and your dreams. We are helping people, whether it's pointing them to a food drive location or fixing a street light, advocating for a project, or brainstorming on the big ideas that could catapult our growth. No day is the same, no problem is too small, and no idea is too big. We're looking to the future with bold vision for how our city can transform and thrive. These initial 14 months have been challenging to say the least, but I have loved every single day. I'm incredibly proud of the strides that we've made and energized about what we can do when we are not in the thick of a catastrophic pandemic. I want to especially thank my team here at City Hall for everything that we have done in this past year and everything that we are going to do moving forward. It's an incredible group of employees, over 500 employees, and I could not do any of this. I could not be up here even without any of you, without you. We Skype with my father every night in Oregon. He sits in the same family room where my parents talked with my brother and me about fairness, equity, justice, and doing what's right. It is truly an honor every day to be your mayor and to fight for good, fair, honest government with you. Thank you for your support, for your hard work alongside us, and thank you for your trust.